And hi YouTube! YouTube say hi to Twitch, Twitch say hi to YouTube. We're all here for some spoopy vibes today. We're gonna start playing Tiny Bunny today. And despite the very cute name, I don't think this is a very cute game. It looks very spooky, very scary. I don't know why it sounds so cute. Let me get... My YouTube UI is so different. Like, I know that YouTube itself changed, but like the stream dashboard is also very different right now. YouTube best come here and support Milky. Well, if you want to stay on YouTube, there's nothing wrong with that. every support is appreciated. Thank you. I will always appreciate it. Okay then. So for the people that have no idea what this game is about, it's a horror visual novel. It just being fully released. And from what I saw, I was telling chat this earlier. Apparently people really like the first 4 chapters of this game, because this game was in early access and they were slowly releasing chapters. And then they took like a 2 or 3 year break for the final chapter and then fully released the game right now. And people were extremely upset with the ending. We'll see how it is. We'll have our own conclusions. I don't think this should take more than like 3 streams. 3 streams max and we should be done with this game, I think. Let's see. Based on the Steam page, it says that it has about 20 different endings. We'll see how difficult it is to get different endings and etc. We'll focus on one for now, right? Let's start a new game. Hi Shane, I hope you're doing good. Well, I need a second pair of pants. Well, that's on you, maybe. The wind clawed at my window all night long. He wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twinned in the air. They were shouting and laughing, and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with its inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. Right? It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still... Oh, that was kinda creepy. Episode 1, The Owl Will Arrive. Furry jump scare. Oh, the art is so nice.
Убери книгу немедленно.
Oh, what language is this?
Сколько раз говорила, не читай за столом, вредно. Сидишь, сутулился весь.
I think it's Russian, if I'm not mistaken. I think the game is Russian. It's Russian, right? Yeah. Oh, hide. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan and the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olia had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like her typical girl from commercials.
Пока не съешь, из-за стола не встанешь.
I, on the other hand, was still trying to draw a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness walled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. Ew, brother, why do you have to describe it like that? It looked like a jellyfish from the Coastal Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Oh, extremely horrifying. I don't have to wonder. Or how cold the Black Forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes.
Что я говорила?
Я достану.
I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is it? Carved on the other side of the table. Ooh, Karina? Karina. Huh, that's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar though. Classic, classic. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagine her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Are there sounds coming from the attic? Oh, hell nah. Or the thick forest. I imagine my grandma coming to my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed where Ollie sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice.
Тайга особое место, дитятка. Она к тебе присматривается, принюхивается, словно хочет понять, что ты за зверь такой. Понравишься, в беде не бросит. А будешь проказничать, схватит за бочок и утащит с собой под землю. Тут и дело с концом.
Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Oh. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. Aww. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. Damn, they were keeping it with them? It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with grey faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. Oh, all of this while bro was still under the table. Olia was done for cookies and was looking at my share like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze towards the frosted window. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass.
Оля, гляди, лиса!
Oh, it's the fox.
Где?
It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look under a certain angle...
Да не на улице, на стекле. Смотри, вот нос, вот.
Scary.
Ну-ка, доедай.
Да, сейчас. Я ничего не вижу.
Живо. Совсем немного осталось.
Вот! Но все равно не похоже. А я говорю, похоже.
Ня.
Похоже.
Прекратите! Ну что за дети?
Now I couldn't see the fox either. Why did it disappear? Nah, it disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty pattern, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. He does have a nice beard. Mom would always ask jokingly, come on, shave it off, it stings. This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olia always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, what's the point in all this? Ooh, through the wall. It's all for your sake, Dad would reply, for the sake of our family. I always call every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. Uh-oh. Devo... I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families.
Да что твоя лиса?
Вот у меня на окне
She
сова.
has an owl.
Опять ты со своей совой.
Так ты же вчера мне верил.
Никто ключи от машины не видел? Вроде оставлял на подоконнике.
Вроде. Вроде оставлял, вроде нет.
Бр.
Вроде взрослый мужчина, отец двоих детей, а
He
вроде...
just lost his keys. Help the
Перестань, пожалуйста,
man.
Карина.
What the hell?
Дай мне спокойно собраться.
В корзине твои ключи, возле телефона.
Огромное тебе человеческое спасибо.
Is this like that video we watched the other day? Of like a woman getting the keys from random places and putting the keys on the key tray. I forgot how it was called. That's exactly what it's sounding like. Why? Why would you do that? Just leave it there, man. He knows where he left it. Bro, thank you so much for the daily, Milkies. I hope you're doing good.
Антон, ешь
Key
быстрее,
dish,
а то
yeah.
как мученик сидишь.
А сова
Не было там никакой совы.
была. Глазюки огромные.
Grrr. I like it. Damn, I never heard Russian a lot. I like how it sounds. The grrr. Olia sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers, the size of an apple each.
В прошлом году бабай в шкафу. Сейчас
Бабай?
сова.
Why is it like this? Babai. Oh wait, info glossary. Babai, in Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. Oh, and what a cute name! Babai, bye-bye.
Но я же видела.
Olia shifted her gaze back and forth from dad to mom to me, but couldn't find any support.
А ты не думала подружиться с ней, нет? Вымышленными мышами покормить, например?
Не подначивай ребенка. Просто мала еще. И спать одна боится.
Only pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be penned under it. Dad just snorted and replying laughed, ringing with the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was stored on incredibly worn out cassette tape, which Dad already had to glue together once. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Ooh. Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Hi, Thunder. Good morning. How are you doing? Olia had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off of all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Oh, that's the owl. And then Olia said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olia refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After last night, I wasn't sure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can't nightmares be infectious? That night I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind her desk were simply dark figures cut out using a template. Oh, that's Gary, bro! What the fuck? Kid jump scare! Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. That's creepy. I don't like this. Kids are creepy. Blue Lantern, thank you so much for the daily, Milkies. I hope you're doing good. Their cruel glares filled with icy sneers made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down? Holy shit, stomp off me with their bloody shoes. The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wish for anything to happen to it. It doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me worse than the previous one. Well, I'm guessing our MC here has been through some shit at his past school. Holy shit, but this shouldn't be our first thinking when you're going to a new school. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olia begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number," or "Anton is not around." Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. Yeah, maybe. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? Oh, was he bullied because of his glasses? Oh man, no, of course. Any reason for bullying is dumb. But man, I hope they're nice to you. I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet. My mom, exactly. It's pretty cool to wear glasses. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. I don't like the attic, bro. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. Ah, hell nah. And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing in there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Uh-oh, open. Uh-oh. What the hell is that? Someone was dancing in the field. Oh, it's the furries. Black silhouettes I could barely make out of the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but they were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music had stopped. Uh-oh! It looks like they're all looking at here. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Fuck no, bruh. It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. Hi, Yuki, how are you doing? Thank you so much for the hydrate. There were bunnies jumping on a trampoline and I just learned they didn't exist. Oh, damn. How are you doing, Yuki? Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm doing good. That's nice to hear. Go check out Yuki if you don't know her, chat. Yuki is a big sweetie. Oh, that's a song? I never heard it. And thank you for the daily Milkies. Paulia, thank you for the daily Milkies as well. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. Milky bigger, sweeter? No, you are. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back toward the bed. Oh, fuck no, bro. That furry is just gonna be staring at the window. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guests move and scrape around looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right. You both big sweeties! Aww. Links around. You can feel free to post it in here in chat, Yuki. It's okay. Then circle around the house. Now my guess should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with the blanket as if it could protect me. Blanket is like an armor, bro. It's nighttime armor. That's why, chat, always remember, if you have your foot outside of the blanket, that's unprotected. The demons under your bed could very well crawl up and lick your foot. Be aware of that. Nobody wants that happening, I think. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remember the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like Telfa Tyndall. Ants running up and down the legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. Oh hell nah, bro, not the ants. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. Fuck no, bro. Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure. And now, lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words.
На острове Буяне, в синем океане, стоит домовина, в ней сало и глина, волосы седые, чертям еда, раба Божьего Антона не тронут никогда.
What the fuck?
Забудут дорогу к дому, мертвый к мертвому, живой к живому.
Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. Fuck no, bro. The sound scratched at my eardrums. Hi, Mikolot, how are you doing? In reality, something or someone were scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring at the forest intently as if he was looking for someone.
Мертвое к мертвому, живое к живому.
I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then... oh, the doorknob twitched slightly. Then I turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. My jaw crept from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. The door creaked and opened. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drinks. Now you'll see. The door was wide open. The darkness writhed inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling and snared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, "Oh, is it the sister?" Bruh. For fuck's sake, bro! For fuck's sake! What's wrong with you? Why do you have to do that? Fucking kids, bro! I tell you, they're creepy! My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief.
Оля, я не сплю. Что случилось?
Olia frowned and stuck up her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry.
Она опять прилетела и пялится на меня. Прогони ее, Тоша. Прогони, пожалуйста. Я так боюсь.
The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I need to calm Olia down.
Это был сон, глупая. Не пугайся. Сны не кусаются. Никто тебя не обидит.
Olia sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure
У
myself?
меня есть идея. Пойдем к тебе в комнату, видик посмотрим. Спящую
Sleeping
красавицу,
Beauty.
например. Тебе же нравится этот мультик?
Почему у спящей красавицы принца умирает страшная птица?
I don't know, man. What do you even answer that? That question took me by surprise. Kids in horror scenario, meet my little friend, put dummy gun like Scarface, what the fuck, bro?
Ладно, давай посмотрим Золушку.
Cinderella also has a prince. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and I couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. He couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair.
Гоша, ты идешь?
Да, сейчас.
Fuck, bro, what the hell? Well, I guess that sucks. Oh, it was a dream. It was just a dream. What the fuck, bro? I love how you didn't flinch. Don't get me wrong, that did scare me. But it wasn't too sudden, you know? I was like, okay. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Ollie and her owl in the morning. Bang bong, bang bong. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? It was actually a wet dream? Fucking furries, bro. Get out of my chat. Don't worry, guys. I will hold the beast. You guys go on. For fuck's sake. We don't know anyone around here. Bing bong, bing bong. I am kidding, Fable. You can stay. Even if you're down bad for the wolf, it's fine. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Olia always hides.
Гоша, подойди-ка сюда.
It felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them towards the hallway. A couple of policemen towered me over in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded.
Тут мальчик вчера потерялся.
О.
Вовой зовут.
Vova?
Глянь, пожалуйста. Ты его не видел?
The policeman held out a photograph to me. Oh, the cat! There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile.
Нет.
Точно? Посмотри внимательнее.
Где мне его видеть? Я тут никого не знаю. Да и из дома-то почти не выхожу.
There.
А может, видел в окно?
From the window? No, we only saw furries. My bad.
Да. У тебя ведь окна на лес.
The window.
Нет, не видел.
Ясно.
He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt with which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. Cat, thank you so much for your follow. Welcome. I hope you enjoy here.
Вы, кстати, как на новом месте? Попривыкли уже?
Понемногу. Только вот дочка маленькая по городу скучает.
Скучает, значит. Из местных вас никто не беспокоит?
Все хорошо, спасибо.
The policeman pierced through me one more time with his brown eyes. My head started spinning.
Может, вам помочь как-то?
I asked her in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner.
Я вот стою и думаю, Ты, малец, на племеша моего похож.
Oh, yeah.
Шустрый парнишка твоих лет. С такими же окулярами. Все книжками зачитывался. Когда летом погостить приезжал. Говорит, что в школу милиции мечтает поступить. Как я. Хотел людям помогать.
That's nice.
Смекаешь?
I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and no police officer stood before me.
Ох, ребятушки, сидите-ка вы лучше дома. Не ввязывайтесь ни во что. Жизнь сейчас совсем другая пошла.
V's back and buds. Thank you so much for the daily, Milkies. I hope you're doing good. Mom interjected in a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
Ну да ладно. Ты, Антон, в каком классе учишься?
В 6-м.
Друзей-то на новом
Шестом.
месте еще не завел?
Пока нет. Я только после каникул в школу пойду.
Тогда вот вам на всякий случай мой номер.
Oh, okay.
Звоните, если узнаете что.
The policemen were gone along with their shadows to smell cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wonder what it was like for him being all alone there. For some reason I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and trash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? Oof, man.
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу заблудился?
Выходит, что так. Бедный ребенок.
I looked out the window at the road. The police UAZ drove off towards the village. Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand, which was produced by Ulyanovsk Car Factory. Okay. Nexus, thank you so much for lurking, thank you. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Series of contemporary Russian original or translated teen mystery books. Black Kitty, I like that name. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Oh yeah, why don't I go into the fucking creepy ass forest that I'm so afraid of to investigate the disappearance of this boy I never seen before? Yeah, why not? What a great idea. Maybe I'll find that lost boy and I'll get a reward. Olia will be so happy. And not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. Oh man, D word. I fantasized about buying Olia Tamagotchi. Oh, I love Tamagotchi. And getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. Tamagotchi, VHS, and Kinder Egg? Oh, hell yeah. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Oh, Monkey, thank you so much for your follow. Welcome. I hope you enjoy here. Last autumn, I think. My dad has lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. Accountant, a song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Combination, that became wildly popular in the early 90s. Okay. Hi Espod, how are you doing? I had little to no idea what the accountant's job like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olia. Oh, are you spooky? Maybe. Boo. A little bit. Sometimes I gave her my share too. Oh, no matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. Oh, I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues.
Пойду погуляю.
Ага, щас. Чтобы потом милиционеры с твоей фотографией по домам ходили. Лес вон такой густой.
Fair concern is like, bruh, you're gonna be the next fucking missing kid.
А если мальчика звери дикие
I
утащили?
can't
Или
believe
того
someone
хуже?
has some sense in here. Even worse echoed through the
Да
hallway.
я рядом буду. В лес не пойду.
Что я тебе сказала? Мне дважды повторять. Лучше портфель собери или соли поиграй.
The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Fair man. Ooh, open. What's this? Oh, the dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And only I can even be lured close to it. She thinks Baba is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp, so she would see that there was nothing but cobwebs, dead stools, and scratched the walls. She still didn't believe me. And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Ollie count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. The kitchen. Let's check the kitchen. I don't see any tiny bunnies on the screen. Oh, Mom. Oh, if I lie to Mom, what the fuck? Look, there was a bunny on the menu screen. But he definitely wasn't tiny. What do we have in the fridge? Fridge review! Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olia there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. What the fuck is pelmeni? Russian variety of dumplings. Ooh, Russian dumplings! Made by boiling thin, unleavened dough filled with mincemeat. One may even call it Russian fast food. That sounds good! Every variation of dumplings is good, you know? I've never seen bad dumplings. They're always good stuff. You know what this reminds me of? No, I'm Not Human? A little bit. I can see it super... No, I'm Not Human, despite them not, like, giving any settings, it does sound a little bit Soviet, doesn't it? Like 90s Soviet stuff? I can see it. Dumplings are the food of the gods. Believe me, they are perfect. I know, right? Okay, let's go. I don't want to lie to Mom. What is this? What does the eye here? Oh, wait. Oh, it shows me stuff that I can look at. The decrepit and stain-covered calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. I remember waking up and running to the kitchen so I could tear off yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning. I always liked changing the calendar day, as if the coming day would get lost in the taiga forest without my help. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. Oof, I haven't touched this calendar for years now. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made me gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitions, to be exact. What? Oh! I grabbed the dusty calendar leaf with caution and tore it off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky descriptions from my childhood were still there. 7 horses carry the log. If 7 can carry, bring the 8th from a ferry. They will take it away and never come back. This is the fate the log can no escape. I crumpled the grey leaf and threw it into the waste bin, hoping to get rid of the anxiousness that washed over me. It was spreading inside like an ink stain on blotting paper. The fuck? We had the radio and the newspaper. Emercom of Russia has declared a state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, a cyclone is moving toward the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snow drifts on the road. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. I took a peek at Mom's crossword. She would get very angry when someone gave her advice. No backseating. So me and Dad faked knowing the answer and being about to reveal all the time. Bruh. Wallow shit. Oh yeah, my dude. Good morning. How are you doing? I smile at the fleeting thought. Vertical, 9 letters, the name of the Philistine deity that protected them from viper bites and had a nickname, the Lord of Flies. Second letter is E. Doesn't know. Can we look at anything here? Oh, we can. This cross had seen so many people come and go into his house. It was black as if it absorbed all human sin from the long years it was hanging under the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm, but she cut herself with the crow's sharp corner and almost fell from the step ladder. Dad called it a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone in its rightful place. I think a phone? My parents prohibited me from making long-distance calls, but from time to time I really want to hear my old friends. Sometimes I would just pick up the phone and listen to the low hum of the zoomer and the distant crackling, imagining the wind howling in the ice-laden chords. Oh, and this. Mom's peg top. What's that? A peg top? A family relic. My mom played with it when she was little, then she gifted it to me. Only I was next in succession line. The toy belonged to her now. Is this kind of like a Beyblade? Is that what it is? She started the dancing. Yeah, that's it, right? Just spins. She started the dancing spindle as if it could show her something. A fairy tale, fairy tale, or maybe even our future. Big Beyblade. Yes, like the wooden ones, right? Oh no, I remember how that's called in Portuguese. I think that's called peão in Portuguese. It's the thing before Beyblades existed, right? I remember I had a wooden one. They were cool. This one looks huge though. Not even my little sister was a bit too old for the old squeaky peg top. Let's go to the front yard. Oh. I think I have to go and lie to Mom. Wait, can I look at something here? Oh no, I can't. Okay, well, I didn't want to lie to Mom. I kind of was just gonna go out, but I think we have to lie to her. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from her.
Мам, там что-то с телевизором случилось. Картинка какая-то тусклая, и экран весь в полосах.
Yeah. Gonna like fix the stuff outside, right? Mom's face became visibly
Без
distorted.
ножа меня режешь. Дострелялся в уток своих.
You're shooting ducks? No!
Говорила же, посадите мне кинескоп своей приставкой. Где мы теперь мастера найдем в дыре этой, а?
Может быть, просто настройки сбились? Сходи, посмотри, пожалуйста.
Proval, thank you so much for your follow. Welcome, I hope you enjoy here. Oh, Russian national toy, which was owned by every Russian child. It turns out, well, like a spinner in short. I see.
Нормально же работал с утра.
Filipino wooden tops were deadly, man. The huge nail in the middle. Yeah, the ones we had here were super sharp, but you had to be careful with it.
Из-за снегопада, наверное, неполадки.
Mama rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olia's room. Oh. Can we see something else? I need to always check this. No. Wait, we can look at the magnet. Senior Lieutenant. Oh, that's the policeman. That's his phone number. That's a very short phone number. Okay, I'm glad I saw that. I almost missed it. Well, I guess we go to the front yard, you know? The flashbang. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed the half of the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remember the nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. The hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olia. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olia turned to stone listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olia present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There were only me, the white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby trees' roots littered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles frozen to the ice. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. This is a glove! Were they protecting the forest? Or they were keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get close, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Light. Russian mystery TV series telling a story of the daily life of Russian police officers. It's the longest running series in the history of Russian TV at the moment. Damn! Does that still exist? Does anyone here know that? Alejandro, thank you so much for the daily Milkies. I hope you're doing good. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Vova! I heard a distant shout. It looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Vova! I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness, how it bent unnaturally toward the ground. Its blackness. Not seeing shit, bro. What do you see? There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Oh, a shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I saw that. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all. I don't know if it still exists, but the name is surely familiar. Have you heard of it, NB? Interesting. Oh my god, I had something on my glasses. Let me just clean this real quick. The pain of being a glasses user, man. Bro, thank you so much for the stretch. Thank you. Thank you. So it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. Am I gonna get jump scared? I'm scared. I feel like I'm gonna get jump scared. Is it the fucking wolf again? My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket and I'd sprint. Right thinking. But nothing of the sort happened. He's also ready for the jump scare. the MC is also like, I'm gonna get jump scared, right? I looked at the mitten once more. Oh, I wanna take it, chat. I wanna take it. I feel like that's a mistake. Look. I feel like the sensible thing to do here is to run away. However, I am way too curious. I wanna take that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. Will I die taking this? Maybe, but I'll risk it. Fuck it. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Oh, the music! I don't like the music! I don't like the music! What have I done? Oh, fuck! What the hell is that? Oh my god! Vova! Oh, fuck, bro! A shout rumbled across the field and the soul into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. I stepped toward the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. Oh my god, I didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Is this blood? A frozen place studying in my palms in disgust. Red. Uh-oh. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Okay, good call. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice for only one reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal. Oh, fuck! I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. What the fuck have I done? An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run! Don't look back. It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became viscous like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. Oh? I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone, my boots slipped out of the hole and my soles were on a hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump and from there ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. The house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks. Oh, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed those marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and my mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled out the doorknob and it obediently gave away. Okay. We're good. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Hatanashi and Rico, thank you so much for the daily Milkies. I hope you guys are doing good. We're playing Tiny Bunny. This is a horror visual novel. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My finger slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chattered me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad.
Что конкретно тебе не ясно в просьбе не хлопай дверьми?
Я случайно.
I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with it the last bit of strength I had left in my body too. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow.
Ты где был? Я тебе что говорила, а? Чтобы ты дома сидел.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Я и для тебя пустое место.
I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel, her voice rang out.
У отца сигареты пропали. Признавайся, ты их стащил? Курить бегаешь?
Там за мной кто-то гнался. Я думал, меня...
I started as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. She's still worried about the cigarettes, bro. I just said I think someone was following me, and Mom is worried that I'm smoking. Then she squinted her eye in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant, and she covered her mouth with her hand.
Гляди, вон же они. Прямо у забора.
My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again, and my pursuers were following me in the feud. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs! Just a small packs of strays with no name and owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest.
Божечки, ты их испугался? Да они сами тебя перепугаются, Антон.
Они гнались за мной, словно за зайцем.
Oh, am I the tiny bunny? Damn. Nightmare, thank you so much for the daily Milkies. I hope you're doing good.
А вдруг они бешеные?
The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them.
Что если они нападут на Олю?
Мам,
Вот бы твой отец их всех перестрелял.
Holy shit! Yo, chill! Chill, bro.
мама, они живые.
А что? Ты уж определись, они тебе друзья или враги? Не маленький ведь уже.
What the hell, Mom? Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb, ridden corner just to keep myself from crying. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Oh, of course. A dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. I feel like Mom is not gonna give a shit, bro. Hi, Anthony, how are you doing?
Мам, смотри, это Вовина варежка. Ну того, про которого утром милиция спрашивала. Она вся в крови, на дереве висела. Вон там, могу показать. Давай в милицию скорее позвоним, как нас участковый просил. Мам, гляди!
Фу!
Ew. A shadow of doubt slowly crept onto Mom's contorted face. Where is this taking place? It sounds like 90s Russia. As if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away.
А ну-ка прекрати сейчас же. Оля тебя услышит, с ума сойдет. Она и так не спит, на все подряд жалуется. Еще и ты со своими шуточками.
At that moment I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. Oh no, chat. Oh no. I think we need to take our meds, chat. Oh no. Oh no, where's kids? Oh! There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment.
Иди сюда, паникер. Да не стой столбом.
Oh, we
Вот,
do!
таблетку на. Быстро пей.
Oh no, chat! We do really need to take our pills. Oh man, oh we're so cooked, man. A golden-colored pill reminiscent of a dead wasp fell into my
Я
palm.
уже пил сегодня.
Oh,
за
we already
завтраком.
took our meds for today.
Попререкайся мне еще. Сказала дома сидеть. Нет же. Был бы отец, выпорол.
Whoa, 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 what the hell?
Сейчас же выпей, а то ночью не уснешь. Тебе ведь в школу завтра.
So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Vova's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters. Yeah, what is real, you know? And Olia's owl. Am I going mad? Uh-oh, what's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it.
Антон, выпил? Можешь, если захочешь. Раздевайся. Уснул, что ли?
Нет, мам, просто задумался.
Интересно, о чем же?
Так, глупости всякие.
Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes. As if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Great, thank you so much for your follow. Welcome, I hope you enjoy here.
Точно все нормально? У тебя такое лицо было, когда милиционер про окно спросил.
Oh.
Все нормально, мам.
She heaved a deep sigh.
Хорошо.
It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olia was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to water tapes. Smile, thank you so much for your follow. Welcome, I hope you're enjoying here. Hi Bonked, how are you doing? I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror like I was trying to solve one of those spot the differences puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Oh, I did dino up here! I didn't see it before, so cute! And the little cat here in the corner. Jafar's and Iago's voice died down. I walked past Olia's bedroom and slipped into my own. Oh, what do we... Oh, can we see the stuff here? My Triceratops figurine. I know about all sorts of dinosaurs. Velociraptors, Afrovenators, Hypsilophodonts. Oh, I never heard of these last two, bro. I remember going to the movies to see Jurassic Park when we still lived in the city and taking pictures with the T-Rex in the hall. Ah, it turned its head and roared. It was awesome. The next tree was a Robotech Transformer. I love this cartoon. When a jet fighter speeds up in the intro among the sounds of blaster fire, you know your next 20 minutes will surely be amazing. Zentradi space station is captured. Rick, get ready for a battle. I've dreamed of becoming an artist since Dad brought me my first comic book. Fly magazine was the coolest. I especially liked the big space-related edition with alien monsters and that funny episode about a gendarme. Fly, the first Soviet and Russian periodic adult comics magazine, extremely popular during the crazy 90s. What made the magazine stand out was the refusal to use material from its foreigner counterparts. I respect that. I started drawing all kinds of stuff since that day, and I seem to be getting pretty good at it. Nice. One of my letters even got published in Fly once. Oh, maybe someday they'll even publish my comic. Nice. The forest didn't look as grim during the day. Antago tree branches in the distance and the snowy field between our house and the forest brought sleepiness to my eyes. But sometimes I would still catch myself looking in the window at the icy treetops instead of doing my homework. Now I think... Oh wait, this is one. Monsters, Ghosts, UFOs. The Encyclopedia of Paranormal Phenomenon from Roseman Publishing. I've learned about the Loch Ness Monster, Medusa Gorgon, and Bigfoot from there. Olia is always scared of the book. She could barely handle sifting through the monster and alien sections with me, but the middle part where they start to talk about ghosts really freaked her out. I even remember hunting ghosts after I read that book. I measured the distance between items on my table every evening and checked if they moved due to some supernatural force to come in the morning. What the fuck, bro? Archer, thank you so much for the daily Milkies. I hope you're doing good. It literally sounds like my house. Looking outside of the snow and the trees in the morning. Oh, damn, Thunder. I hope no weird furries come to haunt you, bro. They didn't. But to be honest, what was I expecting? To meet Casper the ghost? Yo, chat, we're gonna have some ads coming up here. Let me go do that real quick. You guys can fish in the meantime. Fish is here. There's just no one fishing right now, okay? Let me go to the bathroom real quick. I'm gonna be running some ads here. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, you guys have been doing some spooky fishing here. It's such a spooky, like, music vibe for the fishing, you know? Don't scare, chat. Come back here, everyone. Psst, come back here, guys. There are scary furries outside, and I don't want to be left alone. Shadow, thank you so much for follow. Welcome. I hope you enjoy here. Oh, okay. Let me stop the fishies here. You guys stopped fishing right at the right time. Nice. Diamond, is that how I say that? Thank you so much for follow. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying here. Let me make myself I think this is good. I think you guys can probably read the full text. Every now and then I see them covering like 1 or 2 words from the hey! Anon! Thank you for the berries, Anon. What was that, man? Did you like that one a little bit smaller? Is that? Thank you for the berries. Hi, Diamond. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Let me see. I think I investigated everything. Yeah, I can't check these things. Let's open this. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the policeman's phone number along with the mitten here. Like, why did I hit it? You know, that's so weird. The simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed that there was someone behind the curtains. Oh, fuck, no, it's the furry! It's the furry again! My tired hand dropped to the sheet. Whether it was due to the medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. The corners of the room bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windsills and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. It reminded me of burial sheets.
Оля,
Who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked my dried up lips.
Оля, очень смешно.
The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, no a human being. I reached towards the curtains. Ba-doom, ba-doom, beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind swang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustle against the holder when I pulled up on the curtains. Oh, fucking hell, bro! Olia, fucking stop, bro! Every time, this fucking kid! For fuck's sake! Hi, Alice, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. A little early, but gonna be switching to lurky time. Don't worry, Thunder. I really appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. What's this game called? It's Tiny Bunny. Tiny Bunny is the name of the game. You say my nickname like Diamond. That makes sense.
Да я сразу понял, что это ты.
A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olia's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's an awesome flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a light woven child.
А я все видела.
Да ну,
Что ты спрятал?
She was just like my mom when she was little, before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice.
ничего, просто...
Oli ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked,
Ты что-то украл и теперь прячешь? Ты вор?
Ты вор?
Что? Глупая. Ничего я не крал.
A clear image came to mind, a mitten hanging from a tree branch. Oh. What if I did steal it after all? Bro, look! It wasn't a tree! I don't think you can say that you stole that, you know? That was lost. From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind black trees. Olya could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted.
Покажи тогда.
Поклянись, что никому не скажешь. Тогда
Olya wore a plotting smile.
Клянусь маминым сердцем.
An oath she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched. Pioneer movement, an umbrella term for communist children organizations existing around the world, somewhat reminiscent of the Scout movement.
не говори так.
Olya nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olya leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter.
Это чья-то варежка?
She said it as if she couldn't understand what she saw.
Один мальчик потерял. И сам потерялся. Теперь понимаешь, как опасно гулять в лесу, особенно
I
детям.
gotta go outside. Bye-bye, Hatinashi. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye-bye and enjoy your pizza.
Ему, наверное, там очень холодно. Его найдут?
Обязательно. Участковый по домам ходит, всем фотографию его показывает.
Olya traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window.
А почему он по домам ходит, а не по лесу?
Good question, Olya.
Боится?
The question caught me off guard.
Милиционеры ничего не боятся. И лес они прочесали.
Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Surely, right? Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? Look, considering we just stepped outside and immediately found the mitten, I don't think the police checked the forest at all. If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten exactly? Or did it appear late for me? I changed the topic, as if trying to get Olya as far away as possible from the forest thicket.
Если я сам найду пропавшего мальчика, нам, может, награду дадут. Кучу всякого, как в поле чудес. Клёво же.
Olya wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic
Hello,
for
Milky. How are you
her.
today?
Sir, thank you so much for the biddies. How are you doing? I am good. How are you?
А что, если эта сова его утащила?
Ерунда. Не может сова поднять человека. Ну вот что...
I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overextended brain.
Ты в лес не суйся. Мне кажется, он какой-то, как бы сказать, проклятый, что ли.
Как в сказке?
Нет, скорее, как на той страшной кассете, что родители прячут.
Spooky tape? What spooky tape? Ollie shivered and so I glanced at the window. Is it like a horror
Я видела,
movie?
как ты убегал. За тобой кто-то гнался?
Нет, просто, чтобы мама не волновалась, спешил домой.
I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile, it was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone.
Хорошо тебе. Меня вот мама не пускает даже на
О.
крыльцо. Как принцесса в башне сижу. Никуда не могу выйти. Так и умру тут от скуки.
Не придумывай, от скуки еще никто не умирал. У тебя же есть я и мультики, а мама с папой скоро помирятся.
Знаешь, что бы я загадала на следующий день рождения? Чтобы родители тоже в детей превратились. И мы бы все вместе играли, как
Oh
раньше.
man, she's so sweet. Bye-bye, Aya. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye-bye.
Ага, а если бы они стали размером с жука, то мы бы их в спичечный коробок посадили.
Olya giggled and tugged at my sleeve.
Тоша, пойдем Аладдина смотреть.
Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy.
Вымотался я. Что-то не хочется.
Ну пойдем. Мне скучно одной, а мама занята все время.
Abyss, thank you so much for your follow. Welcome. I hope you enjoy here.
Можно выбрать другой мультик, который ты еще не видел.
Да я все наши кассеты наизусть знаю.
А вот и не все. Ты Питера Пэна
Peter
не видел.
Pan.
Помнишь, ты уснул на середине? А там потом такое. Ну пойдем.
Давай попозже.
Рассказать тебе, чем все закончилось?
Bruh, should I spoil you with it?
Утром расскажешь.
Утром не захочу. Придумала. А давай в прятки.
Uh-oh.
Нет, Оль.
Тогда Нарисуй мне динозавра.
She just fucking entertain her, bro. She needs to pass the time. She's just a little kid. Crust, thank you so much for follow. Welcome. I hope you enjoy here.
Оля, блин.
Нарисуй.
Да оставь ты меня в покое!
Oh, don't yell at her. Oh, I blurted it out without thinking. And then I was immediately taken aback. Oh, man. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Olia stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olia from crying.
Ладно, уболтала. Давай смотреть мультики.
Уже не хочу.
Oh. I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head.
Пойдем. Питера Пэна посмотрим.
Ага, ты опять уснешь.
I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless.
Не усну, обещаю. А потом я тебе целого трицератопса нарисую.
Triceratops!
Ура!
Yippee!
Трипик! Сири! Попса!
Oh, so
Ну,
cute.
почти.
Olia rubbed her eyes with a sleeve of her pajamas and a shining smile returned to her face. Saina, thank you so much for the biddies. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Brown, thank you so much for lurking.
Давай ты пока кассету перемотаешь, а я у мамы попрошу сгущенки с хлебом. Только утром свежие привезли, как ты любишь.
Неси, только аккуратнее, а то разольешь. Опять ругаться будут.
Спорим, не разолью. Кассета где-то в тумбочке. Поищи пока.
Olia disappeared into the doorway and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Oh, so many plushies. Olia's countless toys. An old teddy bear is the main attraction here. Olia doesn't sleep without it. And she digs her nose into its fur when she sleeps. A piggy bank. Olia is saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. Oh man, she seems like such a good kid. The scary window where Olia sees the accursed owl every night, lurking in the dark. Olia keeps curtains open during the day, but as soon as the twilight comes, she shuts them tight, so she wouldn't see the pair of hungry eyes outside. Hi, Zane, how are you doing? Okay, I think that's all. Let's turn on the TV. The old photo TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. The tube warmed up and familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did I catch some rogue signal? Local TV station only really showed the Soviet cartoons, and even that was a pretty rare. And only just recently, I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Olia had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all that. Let's search the tape. Don't want to make Olia upset. I sit through the shelves full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. Oh, I had those hippos! I remember it! Oh man, I had so many of those. I found the tape I needed thanks to its shabby spine. I got the black rectangle from its box. The tape inside, it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Images swirled in my head. Me and Olia flying above the forest, tumbling in the soft clouds. My little sister's laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed that the clouds underneath us part, bearing the bristly pine tops. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. The wings are no longer able to hold us and Olia.
Ты не смотришь без меня?
My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. Oh, good shit! I rubbed my eyes.
Садись.
Мама с папой опять ругаются.
Oh,
У
man.
них сейчас период такой.
Глупый какой-то период.
On the screen, Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow into the dresser. Olia was entertained by the cartoonish dog Nana.
Может, и нам родители собачку купят?
She really wants a dog. Oh, the Peter Pan here!
Ага, как же.
В Небыляндии у меня будет своя собственная собака. И кошка. И попугайчик.
Попугай. Olia smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me.
А у тебя все молочные зубы выпали?
Конечно.
Olia frowned a deep in thought.
Питера Пэна зубы молочные. Вдруг со взрослыми зубами тебя не пустят в его страну?
Мы что-нибудь обязательно придумаем.
Попросим папу исправить тебе возраст в паспорте.
С чего это папа будет документы подделывать?
Olia took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full.
Будет.
Brr.
Мама говорила, что он так делал. А я подслушала.
Смотри, уши вырастут, как у Дамбо.
I love Dumbo! Olia got worried and touched her ear. I smiled to myself. My little sister was silent now. She just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. Hi, Plastic! How are you doing? How far did you play this game? Yeah, they kept just the Russian VA. I do like it. Russian sounds very nice. Milky, could I recommend you a game to play? Yeah, of course. Oh, I bought it before the 1.0. Wait, you didn't play anything? I thought you had. As if she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. To be honest, I also imagine myself there, in a land where no one ever ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sounds of broken plates at night. It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality.
Тоша, скорее, штору задерни!
Oh, I've only seen the first hour on YouTube. Oh, I see. I am liking it so far. It has a kind of pacing that I like.
Зачем? Никто же на тебя не смотрит.
Уже темно, а когда темнеет, прилетает сова. Я боюсь.
It sounds like she said, yeah, bye. I got out of bed fighting my drowsiness and closed the curtains. Oh, I don't like this. Okay. I did my best not to look outside, toward the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches escaping the snow.
Тоша, мама думает, что я напридумывала про сову. И папа считает, что раз я маленькая, это значит врушка. А сова есть. Вот честная-пречестная, есть она. Ты же мне веришь, что она там и каждую ночь прилетает и...
I swiftly grabbed Olia's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities?
Я тебе верю, слышишь? Ты только родителям больше не рассказывай про сову. У них и так хлопот по горло, они только рассердятся. Ты мне говори, если что случится. И в окно не смотри.
Но она хочет, чтобы я смотрела.
Перехочет. Притворись, что ее нет и не было никогда, что она выдумка, как родители говорят. Ей ждать надоест, она улетит.
Owls are stupid. Only time I've ever seen one as a kid is stare at me for like a minute and then it smacked itself into the random window. That's scary. So you had an owl staring at you before. That's scary. It followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents were tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Did she fall asleep? Olia's eyelids had dropped. She started snorting lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Olia's room. It was funny watching from the side, at least. I can see it. I was looking out the window, studying the field when Momo peeked into my room.
Довольно баловства. Завтра первый день в школе. Ложись, тебе надо выспаться. Не хочешь же ты, чтобы тебя все дразнили Соней?
Damn, bro, if I got teased for being sleepy at school, I'd be fucked. I was constant constantly sleepy. I am constantly sleepy. I'm always sleepy, bro. Don't think everything is so simple. As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. Yeah. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear the mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just a part of growing up and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. It has come after all. Oh, I got an achievement for examining all objects in episode 1. I think I did good, chat. It's a Steam game, cute horror, only demo is available. Alice's World. I will try to remember that, Diamond. If you want, you can put it on the Discord server. It's a little bit easier for me to remember it there. When I have to wake up 6 a.m, of course you're gonna be sleepy for school, churro. Only don't be scared, the entity will not touch you if you don't look to the bottom right. Hey. Are you saying that I'm the entity? I would never do anyone's harm, okay? It has come after all. The day I feared the most, the first day of a new school term. Are you gonna start? Yeah, episode 2. Time to play with you. New school, new teachers, and most importantly, new classmates who I always have trouble connecting with. Like most other kids with glasses, probably. I forced myself to get out of my warm bed. Dad would usually drive me to my old school, but this morning the bedroom of my parents was silent. Did they sleep in? Uh-oh. Maybe it was a good thing. I didn't want to get the daddy's boy reputation from day one. My parents were probably still tucked in, dreaming about the good old days when everything was so simple and easy. Sweet dreams, even if far removed from reality. I silently sneaked out to the first floor so I wouldn't wake up anybody, especially the peacefully sleeping Olia. I did my best to step on the middle of every floorboard. I used to play like this even in our old apartment. If my soles touched the space between floorboards, it counted as stepping into lava. Yeah, classic. The clock was spurring me on with its hands. I need to hurry, faster. I was too fast, so I needed to circle the hallway once again. Boiling lava was bursting out of the cracks between floorboards. I needed to watch my step, to survive at any cost. Hippity hop like a frog jumping on molehills, like a fearful bunny in a grove full of wolves. I made a sandwich in the kitchen, shoved it down my throat, and drank it down with cold tea. My appetite was as good as someone being led up the scaffold toward the guillotine. I lowered my gaze and saw that one of my feet was standing on 2 floorboards at the same time. Burned to a crisp, huh? I moved my foot. Disgusting little snakes writhed in my belly, the fear of getting hit and being called nasty names. The clock clicked. I need to go. It was dark outside, fitting for an early winter morning. The darkness never fully left the houses around here. I took my time tying my shoes, buttoning up the puffy down jacket, trying to delay my unpleasant exit into the semi-dark, into the unnerving unknown. I rubbed my glasses for good luck, though I couldn't remember a single time these thick pieces of glasses brought me any good fortune. Hi Phantom, how are you doing? Thank you for the daily Milkies. And Skull, thank you so much for the daily Milkies as well. Hope you're doing good. Russian VA devs try not to reference USSR animation challenge. Impossible, VN. Impossible nostalgia difficulty. I can see that. The skin was akin to a giant bruise. On the east side of it, a black cloud was swelling up. It licked up stars from the sky and extinguished the rising sun. Darkness was plastered all over the treetops. The cautious cries of birds got tangled up in the thicket. I locked the front door with a long key that I wore around my neck. My parents made me wear the snooze, afraid that I, being a total klutz that I am, could lose the key otherwise. The wind whizzed on the other side of the gate, invited me into a new life, toward dubious adventures. I'm tagged alone like an old buddy, pushing me in the back. Wide shadows that pine throughout covered a third of the clearing. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, I hid my nose in the coat's corner. I was squeezing through that thin firebreak, my hair ruffled up and my back hunched over. Tall trees stood on both sides of the tiny trail. The snowy blanket rustled under my feet, and the canopy of intertwined branches above my head cut me off from the already sparse starlight. The night had no plans of moving away from the forest. In this darkness, trees reminded me of shaggy old women that smelled of burial earth, Their trunks turned into cracked, wrinkled faces with holes in the middle as their mouths. If I lost focus even for a moment, mold-covered witches would drag me into their forest depths. Then my parents would be walking around these parts screaming my name. But the dead can't answer the living. Or can they? A sense of panic was growing in my chest. I was fine with Dad carrying me into the school in his hands by now if it saved me from watching the darkness rise up in the ravines like black dough. It felt like someone jumped into the bushes behind me, so I turned around. As soon as I started walking faster, I heard the snow squeak behind me. The forest took a deep breath with its giant lungs. The windfall cracked. The wind and the birds were left behind in the field. Now I could only hear the forest creak. I walked, listening closely, and the unseen presence grew stronger, as if someone was following me, trying to match the pace of my footsteps. I turned my head so fast it made my neck crunch. A tiny trail behind me disappeared into the darkness. 3 branches overlapped, forming a natural tunnel.
Есть здесь кто?
The question escaped my lips and dissolved into the unending creaking sound of the wooden idols, the pines around me. Why did I think going through the forest alone was a good idea? I'm either going mad, or someone had intentionally lured me away from home. Distant lights granted me a smidge of hope. A country road. I ran there as fast as I could, as if afraid that the trail would shrink. Clawed hands would grip me by the shoulders, turn me around, and make me look at the faces of hungry forest denizens. In the end, nobody stopped me. I almost flew to the decrepit wooden bridge, disbelieving my luck. The bridge supports bathed in a spring, tarry, and ice cold. I put my hands on my knees and looked up at the forest, then snorted, trying to calm my breathing. The ticket was pretending to be asleep. It looked peaceful, lifeless. The remaining part of my commute lied through a snow-laden road, illuminated by sparse lamplights. I chased away bad thoughts and ran as fast as I could from one circle of light to another, seeking protection from electric lamps. Just like in that game where you need to be the first to proclaim I'm protected. Tag. Kids, a game where one players need to tag other players by touching them with their hand, making them it. In certain zones, normally called the goo, players can stay safe from tagging. I'm familiar with tag. Tag is normal. But I don't think we ever had like safe zones from it. That's interesting. Timmy, thank you so much for that daily, Milky. I hope you're doing good. This game references VTubers, bruh. It's just, in this case, the protection was flimsy at best, with darkness writhing outside its bounds. Oh! It's the furry! And I noticed something remarkably eerie. Is he eating? In a place where the light from an inclined lamp couldn't reach, a hairy, crooked shadow came alive with a guttural roar. Sammy, thank you so much for the hydrate. Thank you. It almost felt like its features the third light. Its unnatural pose instilled fear. My eyes almost popped out of their sockets as I just stood there blinking, trying to chase away that look. But the shadow doesn't disappear and even got closer. My insides were gripped by horror. I stepped back and almost fell into a snow pile. The black silhouette, on the other hand, straightened up and addressed me in a sweet voice.
Чего крадешься? Душу мою украсть хочешь?
Words got stuck in my throat. Who could be talking in such a silky voice here between the forest and the dormant village?
Чего молчишь, несмышленыш? Язык вырвали? Слушай, а я тебе еще и нос откушу. Будешь знать, как совать его в чужие дела.
A girl stood before me, judging from the voice and the silhouette. But I couldn't even reprimand myself for getting scared by a girl before noticing a gaping mouth under her hood with something dangerously shiny inside. I was stunned. It's a furry! From the cavity of her hood, a frighteningly real fox face was staring straight at me. It's just her jaws weren't moving and her eyes weren't blinking. What? Chat! Chat's into it. That chat's fine. Doesn't matter what the fuck she was eating. Could be you, chat. A mask. It's just a girl with a fox mask on. At least I wanted to think that. After a surprise like that, a nervous smile involuntarily crept onto my face.
А я просто в школу иду, а тут ты.
Что я? Никогда не видел, как лиса собаку кормит?
Oh, the dog was eating. And indeed, there was a small dog circling the girl's legs. One of the strays that were chasing me yesterday probably. Oh, he's so cute.
Извини, я не хотел.
After hearing my voice, the dog whimpered, lowered its ears, sniffed me out, and then started wagging its tail. Oh, it's a good boy. I guess it still smelled of bologna that I ate for breakfast. I was shifting my gaze back and forth from the dog to the girl. She didn't seem scary anymore. Just weird. Didn't seem scary anymore. Just weird. Fair enough.
Значит, не хотел. Ну-ну.
No,
Как тебя
no.
зовут?
Меня Антон, а тебя?
А меня нет.
Oh, they opened its eyes. That's fucking scary. She's weird. Definitely has a couple loose screws. But she has a nice voice. My astonishment has turned into a mix of happiness and relief. This girl I didn't know was definitely human, if a bit eccentric. I was also a bit angry at myself. This foxy girl was walking through the darkness without problem, and I shuddered from every little sound. I could just walk away, but this girl had piqued my interest. The next time a police officer asks me about my friends at the new place, I'll tell him that I befriended a talking
Ты
fox.
здесь живешь? В поселке?
The fox giggled and purred. She spun around so hard, the hem of her coat lifted up.
Нет, глупый. Лисы не живут в поселках.
Хочешь сказать, ты живешь в лесу?
Из какой норы ты вылез? Конечно! Лисам среди людей не выжить, пока они лисы.
Her jokes were also weird. Just like her carnival mask. Paper mache with fur glued onto it. Oh, a dog reminded us of its existence with a loud bark. I unfastened my backpack. Dad would sometimes throw food in there without my knowledge. Cookies, apples, or even my favorite crab sticks. Ooh, crab sticks! He called it a gift from the bunny. Treat from the bunny, the uneaten part of a business lunch or a treat specifically bought for children. Parents would tell their children that a bunny asked them to deliver said treat, but it could also be any other animal, a squirrel or a bear, for example. I see. The stray strode towards me with mincing footsteps, with a pleading look in its eyes. The fox definitely treated to something, but it was probably still hungry.
Зачем ты так вырядилась с утра пораньше? На утренник идешь?
The girl shrugged, throwing silvery snowflakes off her nose, and her human form along with them. Eh? Turning into a genuine beast? A real fox, agile, cunning, dangerous. A moment of hesitation and you'll be ripped to shreds. She'll tear you up and gulp you down without breaking a sweat. I couldn't help but just stand there as a stump. Until I heard her calm, melodic laughter hidden underneath the beastly mask.
Видел бы ты свою маску, сладенький.
Sweet? Did she say sweetie? I got embarrassed. Oh my god, bruh is actually wanting to raise up the furry! Went red to my hair roots. We'd seen a fox in a zoo once when we went there with Dad, but he had patchy fur, was grey and skinny. But this girl was of fiery color and furry, just like in fairy tales. I was still rummaging through my backpack. The bro is such a furry. He's so into it. My fingers that were searching for the dog's treat stumbled upon some soft crumble object.
Ничего, скоро проснутся настоящие звери.
Uh-oh.
Спроси-ка лучше у них, где они взяли свои человеческие лица.
The girl's shadows was dancing in the lamp's light. The dog yapped in agreement. I freaked out and dropped my finding in the snow without getting a proper chance to examine it. Cold wind instantly covered the hole it created with snow. The dog rushed to dig it out, wanting to get its treat. And the fox just snorted. Now I was so embarrassed I went to sink through the snow. It was still dark outside of the electric circle. On the contrary, the darkness seemed even more thick. All neighboring houses were sleeping deeply in its inkiness. I did my best to continue the conversation with the weird girl I didn't know.
Ты в школу идешь?
Ах, ну какой же дурачок! Так ничего и не понял.
Well, I was trying to be friendly, but she can't stop mocking me. Calling me a dummy and all. I should have just moved along without paying any attention to this weirdo and her stupid dog.
А ты чего обзываешься? Не хочешь отвечать, и пожалуйста. Никто не требует.
Still, something froze me in place, tugged me toward the dark figure. A mysterious appearance, her voice that was velvety and just languid enough. I was intrigued and excited. I watched her as people watch fires burn.
Ой, да не дуйся. Гляди-ка лучше, ты нравишься Жульке.
Zulka? Oh, that's the dog. The dog was digging through snow with sharp movements, snoring loudly. The fox turned around and looked at the windows of a nearby houses, its timbered front through the white mist. The tip of her fake nose was shining under the lamp's light.
И не только ей.
I went red again, like a boiled crayfish this time. Is she talking about herself or someone else? I hoped that the semi-dark would be able to hide my embarrassment from the girl. I cleared my throat before asking.
А кому еще я нравлюсь?
I waited, counting my heartbeat. The fox didn't reply. Her sly stare was scanning the frosty patterns of someone's windows. She was reading them like a glass book. I wonder what she can see in those winter paintings. The stray stopped rummaging through the snow. It ran to me holding my object in her jaws. A mitten. Could it be the one I found in the forest? What is it doing here? When I looked closer, I realized it was just my mitten. Maybe Mom stuffed in there when I was asleep. A certain missing boy immediately came to mind.
Эй, ты знаешь что-нибудь про Вову?
I imagined the scene, silhouettes dancing in the clearing. The dance on the night when Vova had disappeared. A boy who, when found, can provide a big reward and maybe save my family. I remember my birthday when our parents promised to take me and Olia to Disneyland in Paris. But instead of a long-anticipated gift, they gave me a simple brick game console. Oh, visibly embarrassed. Damn. I was crying my eyes out back then, demanding to take me to the promised amusement park. That was the first time when Mom and Dad had a big fight. My greediness shattered their relationship. If only I could fix everything, gather everybody I love and take them to Disneyland.
В ночь, когда пропал Вова, я, кажется, видел, как кто-то похожий на тебя плясал под моим окном.
It couldn't be true, but I felt like her mask became even more sly. The fox was sniffing me out. Big
А
sniffer.
что, ты тогда испугался? За себя или кого-то еще?
Olia, as soon as I thought about my sister, my chest tightened and cold sweat streamed down my spine.
Ну так слушай меня внимательно, мальчик по имени Антон.
Anton.
Это большой и страшный лес.
The fox girl stepped forward menacingly.
И я не единственный его
Is this a
обитатель.
threat?
Другие звери уже
Ха?
знают о тебе. Берегись нас. Этой ночью
What
мы
the
опять
fuck?
придем.
I shouldn't have talked to this evil and child form, I thought, panicking.
Пока ты со своей семьей будешь спать, подкрадемся близко-близко. и
Близко-близко?
станцуем Макарену!
Bala de cuerpo, lingua macarena, da da na 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 na.
Чё?
What a threat! I will sneak into your room late at night, and I will dance Macarena in front of you.
Эй, Макарена! дурачок, нет? Меня не отпускают гулять так поздно. Здесь, знаешь ли, дети пропадают.
I touched the plastic frame of my glasses, puzzled by her silly joke. She got me scared to death.
Ой, да не тереби ты окуляры свои. Я раньше тоже близорукой была. Лучше послушай меня. Может быть, ума наберешься. Лисичку как обычно называют?
Плутовка?
My words seemed to hurt her.
Ох ты ж! Да
Ой, прости.
Her laughter was akin to the jingle of a pair of silver bells.
Да шучу я! Конечно, плутовкой. Если ты ловкий и смелый, не боишься с плутовкой водиться.
Huh.
Ты же неспроста его ищешь.
I shrugged in reply. Her insight was alarming.
Знаю, почему дети повадились соваться в наш лес. Порой там можно найти много всякого интересного. Я вот однажды нашла целый сугроб конфет.
Had a good time in stream. Bye
Да
bye,
так что
this. Thank you
челюсть
so much for
слипла.
stopping by. Bye bye. Have a good night. This is how it is to interact with a furry. I am 100% true. Yeah, definitely. I can see it. A pile of candy. I couldn't deduce whether she believed in what she was saying from the tone of her voice. I showed her another smile, a fake one this time.
Посмотрите-ка, какой недоверчивый. Ну-ну, а что ты на это скажешь?
She held out her hand in a furry mitten. Oh, she does have the candy! There was an assortment of sweets in her palm. Chat, I don't know if I should take candy from the weird furry I just found on the street. In the city where I used to live, sweets like these were sold at the market or in kiosks. Small container type shop selling a wide assortment of products from bubblegum to vodka, clothing, or even home appliances. These types of shops were popular in 90s Russia and even more often than not tied to criminal organization. Sounds like a convenience store. Is this a furry game? Well, it does have furries. We are talking to a fox-like person. I saw my favorite bubblegum in a vivid wrapper among the tasty treasure. A familiar name was on it. Turbo. A triangular fox face poked her nose toward me.
Угощайся. У
Nah.
меня полные карманы.
Nah, bruh. Bruh, I'm gonna refuse. I don't know, bruh. She did. Oh man, she did say that if I befriend the fox, she's gonna help me find vulva, right? Look, once again, I feel like the sensible thing to do would be to refuse. However, I think things will be more interesting if I take it. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it for the sake of content. I accepted the treat and catching a whiff of the girl's smell. Fur, fireworks, and citrus. The smell of holidays. My fingers tingled when I was carefully unwrapping the gum. I am so scared. Peachy aroma entered my nostrils and something else, something unfamiliar but pleasant. Hi Blackstar, how are you doing? What could go wrong? Yeah, exactly. Just taking candy from the strange ass looking fox person that I randomly saw on the street. Nothing bad could happen. We're already cray-cray. Who cares about sensible things? That's true. Hey, I do not remember taking my meds this morning. I didn't see him taking his medicine. The fruity cube ended up in my mouth. I started moving my molars, chewing the gum. It tasted like our usual Turkish gum, only my tongue went a bit numb. I don't know if your tongue should go numb from candy, bro. Dutch, thank you so much for the daily Milkies. I hope you're doing good. I couldn't believe my luck after opening the insert. Yo, a Mercedes-Benz? The type of games where players put bubblegum inserts onto their palms and try to flip it by throwing it in the air. Oh, classic. The player who happened to flip one or more inserts claimed them as the prize. Those inserts were often considered collectibles. We used to do this so much, man. I remember that. I looked at a Mercedes-Benz, an extremely rare and hence desirable collector's item for any boy from my previous neighborhood. My heart skipped a beat. I was barely able to tear my eyes off the insert, still stunned.
Это
Теперь понял, что можно найти в лесу?
A Mercedes-Benz? Oh, hell yeah!
Только на твоем месте я бы туда в одиночку не ходила. Тебе вон от жвачки в забу дыхание
Damn.
А представляешь, что с тобой будет, если найдешь чемодан таких фантиков? Голову напрочь снесет.
Unusual treats, just like everything else about her. I carefully hid the insert in my bag as if I was putting a rare butterfly in a can. The fox giggled. This is not how things are supposed to go on a Monday morning. Who are you? I refrained from asking that question. She wouldn't answer anyway, or she'll just lie. Extremely salty candy does make my tongue numb. Really? Salty candy? I'm not really a big fan of salty candy. I wonder. I really wanted to see what's behind her mask. Average, yeah, true. We have to remember that this is in Russia. Maybe this is just a regular Monday in Russia. I was becoming more and more sure that underneath it wasn't just a simple young girl.
Может, Вова тоже нашел сугроб сладостей и теперь кувыркается в нем? Слушай, вдруг он решил остаться в лесу? Тогда, наверное, ему очень холодно в одной
You think Vova turned
варежке.
into a furry? The wind caught her words like smoke from a fire and carried them deep into the darkness, into the creepy thicket. The trees behind me creaked with their bony branches.
Или с ним что-то случилось в пути. Что-то страшное.
The forest reacted to her words, became alive. It sniffed me out, perking up its ears just like a curious beast. The fox girl pierced me with her eyes again.
Дикие звери?
Это, по-твоему, страшно?
Ну, не знаю.
I don't know.
Не знает.
He doesn't
Уж не с
know.
двоечником ли я
What the
подружилась?
fuck, bro? I didn't like being called a dunce yet. Being friends with her sounded nice. Fear Lover and Alyssa, thank you so much for follows. Welcome. I hope you guys enjoy here.
Я хорошист.
Бел да пушист. Пойдешь со мной, хорошист Антон? Найдем твоего Вову и сам его спросишь, что он нашел в этой пуще. Ведь пока мы вместе, никто тебя в лесу не
Damn,
тронет.
Chad, did we get furry mummy? Furry mummy acquired.
Вот увидишь.
Fuck's go, bro. I'm gonna go with my new furry mommy. Worms of worry written in my belly. Better run, whispered in my mind. Benny, thank you so much for the raid. How are you? How was your stream? Welcome, welcome everyone. I am Milky. I am a variety streamer, professional yapper. We're playing Tiny Bunny right now. This is a visual novel set in like 90s Russia. And we just found a fox person. That is very scary. I hope you guys are all doing good. I hope you had a nice stream. Thank you. I really appreciate it. What were you doing, Benny? I think my mods are all sleeping. Let me give you a shout out. There we go. Oh, Minecraft. I hope you're having a good time. Thank you. I really appreciate the raid. Thank you. I was watching you and Benny. Based. Benny Boo's watching Benny B button as well. Nice. Benny Maxing. We're playing Minecraft.
Good morning.
And not talking politics and a bit of Warhammer. Sounds like a good time. SJ, thank you so much for the 4 months. Good morning. How are you doing? Is my wife? Oh, so cute. I'd like to tell you a Final Fantasy VII joke. Oh, man, I didn't play FF7. I am sorry.
Я тебе не верю.
Ты думаешь, я врунья? Да и пожалуйста.
You are a
Никогда
fox.
никто не
And
верит.
Benny, please, if you need to go get some rest, if you need to get snacks or anything, please don't worry about it. I will take good care of your raiders. Benny's my cute hubby. We were married in another stream. Aw, that's so cute. If I learn anything from the internet, is that the furry mommy is actually just a man with a voice changer. Well, we'll never know. We'll never know. Oh, oops, I accidentally hit it. The girl sounded hurt, although I don't know if she was genuine about it. She turned around as if she had immediately lost all interest in me. The gum felt bitter now. I remember my dad's favorite saying, "Where are your manners, son?" Indeed, the fox was kind to
Не
me.
обижайся, пожалуйста. Лисы бывают и добрыми. Ну, как в сказках. Мне бы только понять, что ты за лиса.
The girl giggled, hiding the nose of her mask in her hands.
Тогда пойдем со мной в лес.
Damn.
Но не сейчас, а когда рассветет. А то тебя, бедного, всего аж потряхивает. Того и гляди, кондрашка хватит. Айда, провожу тебя до школы.
She's taking me to school? After hearing this, the dog barked in agreement and stopped messing with the mitten. I leaned in, trying to grab the piece of handwear that almost ran away from me.
Ну, если тебе по пути...
We went toward the school and the lost dawn. Here and there, the lights came in on the windows of houses we passed, as if their inhabitants were sending us warning signs. Silhouettes lurked behind curtains, dogs let out occasional barks. Spirals of grey smoke rose from chimneys, TVs bustled and dishes clanged in kitchens. We watched the village slowly rise from its slumber while carefully treading the snowy wheel trails. I walked in the left one and she took the right one. The dog was following right behind us. I expected the fox to bring us something weird again, but she stayed silent all the way to the school, as if playing with me some game only she was privy to. She would only giggle from time to time when the dog sneezed from the snowflakes that fell on its nose. I was the first to break the silence.
Так как тебя зовут?
А, ну конечно. Имена, имена, имена. Людям непременно надо вешать ярлыки на все подряд. Ну и как бы ты назвал такую лису, как я?
Даже не
Aw.
знаю. Но я читал про лису по имени Алиса.
Alisa.
А что? Я не против. Пусть будет Алиса.
Okay. I couldn't understand if she was joking or not. I turned around as if looking for an answer from the dog from the dark sky devoid of dawn. My silent questions were left unanswered. Oh, here's the school. The school outline was already in our sight. A giant brick box stuck in the endless night. Lights in its windows didn't bode well for me. The warden trees were guarding the schoolyard. Screams, childish laughter, and someone's whistling tore up the silence. I just went here with Mom when we just moved, and the place looked cozy at the time. Empty corridors that smelled of polish, puffy snow outside. The second time I came alone to get the books and just kept on imagining my peers rolling down the railings, grade schoolers running to the library, and teachers marching down the corridor with the air of self-importance around them. High schoolers were smoking at the entrance, and track pants and wool caps perched on their foreheads. Their appearance destroyed the last of hopes for a cozy school. Their stingy eyes and teeth, yellow from nicotine,
Milky, tap,
their
we are an
smirks,
adult
all
now.
of it had the same gloomy effect as the cloudy winter morning. Squirt, thank you so much for the 18 months. You're an adult now. Good job. So proud of you. Thank you so much for the subbies, Square. I hope you're doing good. Oh, Lisa means fox. Oh, that is cool. Didn't know that. Absorbed by my thoughts, I completely forgot about my companion.
После уроков жду тебя на заднем дворе, возле повешенного.
The hanged
Возле
man?
кого?
She just ignored my question. Bruh, you can't just say that, huh?
Опаздывай.
I hesitated. Blowing hot and cold again, Mom always said that when I would have trouble choosing between two options. Thinking about Mom helped me
Я
reply.
после школы сразу домой.
Эх, Антоша, Антоша. Это я тебя
Антоша,
так просто
Антоша.
отпустила. Другие же незаметно подкрадутся со своими улыбочками и вцепятся. Попомни мои слова.
The fox opened her mouth in a wide yawn. What kind of trick is this?
Антоха!
Someone running in the distance called out my name. Oh, I instinctively turned around. Oh, no! That dog! Who did this? A huge snowball whizzed past my shoulder and hit the dog. The poor doggy! It whimpered and ran toward the spring. The darkness devoured it. The fox girl was also nowhere to be seen. She dissolved into frosty air. Or was she hiding in my shadow? I gulped and swallowed the gum. Ew, why would you swallow the gum? Unlucky. After taking a deep breath, I went toward the school, toward the cut lesson dough, toward the light raining down onto the snow. Damn, this seems like a good stopping point, chat. We have a few things to check in here. Let me save the game. Okay, I really need the bathroom. Let me go to the bathroom real quick. I think I'm gonna inspect this. Oh my god, that fucking scared me. I'm gonna inspect the area before leaving, and then I'll save again. Let me get the fishies here. Fishies are here. There's just no one fishing right now, okay? I'm going to the bathroom real quick. I'm gonna be running some ads here. I'm gonna be right back. I'm back. Yo, what the hell, Potato? What are you doing? You're trying to be sneaky? Is that? Thank you so much for the gift subs, Potato. I really appreciate it. Thank you. What did I miss? Like, it was just Potato giving 5 gifts out of nowhere. I really appreciate you, Potato. Thank you. Don't run away, chat. Why are you running away? Why are you... Come back here, chat. Come back here. Psst, 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 psst. Come back here, chat. Let's just investigate the school real quick. And that is gonna be it for today. Boom. That is scary. Scarier than all the furries. Let me take the fishies out of here. Fishies will be back later, chat. Do not worry. They dropped to 5 and disappeared into the darkness. What a giga, Chad. Oh, okay. Bro, every time we hover... Every time we hover over the dude, he coughs. That's so funny. Okay, what? We have a car. There was a fresh-looking Volga parked nearby, with one of its front wheels perched up in the icy curb. Black like Sufa, as if it was straight out of the horror story Dad loved to tell me when he hid in the attic during a thunderstorm. I remember him always wearing a sad smile when mentioning the black car that snatched children. Oh, classic story! He would say, it looked like a funeral car on the inside, white curtains and all. And it has DSC on its license plate. Do you know what that means? Oh, death to Soviet children. Wait, what the fuck? Funny, I was born in the USSR too. Oh, that's messed up. Kids here? A buzzing crowd of upperclassmen with their winter hats tipped to the side. I'd better not draw their attention. The man... A tall man was standing near the gate, puffing out clouds of smoke into the wind. He didn't look like a teacher. Was he a PE guy, maybe? Chad, thank you so much for the hype train. Choo-choo! I really appreciate you. Oh, thank you. Hover over him quickly and repeatedly. Can you make him crash out? Oh wait, I have to finish this. I carefully studied his face that looked like it was cut from a piece of granite and his hair lips that was holding down a cigarette. He was playing around with car keys and staring back at us. The light from the cigarette was reflected in his eyes that were sitting deep in his eye sockets. I froze in place. The hulking man lazily tore off his eyes from us and walked toward the road. Oh, he's gone. I am sorry, I can't check it now. We can't make him die from coughing. I'm sorry, chat. And then we have this bird nest. Whose nest is this, I wonder? A thieving magpie. And it probably has all sorts of shiny things in it. Pieces of colorful glass, bottle caps, polished coins, or child braces. Huh. Well, I guess that's all. Okay, let's save here. Yes, we override. Did you guys like this? We might play it more next week. We might try. We might try to finish this game, and I am enjoying it. I think it has a cool pace. I am intrigued by what's gonna happen next. It's crazy that Russia hasn't invented colors yet. Yeah. 90s Russia didn't know what colors were. Everything's black and white. I need more furries. You want to see more furries, Fable? Yeah, sure. Maybe there's more. Maybe we're gonna find the bunny. Maybe the owl. I don't know. But we did not kill the smoker. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. My bad. Let me get the fishes back here. Fishes is here, okay, chat? There's just no one fishing right now. YouTube homies, I am gonna be ending the YouTube stream here. I really appreciate you. Oh, we might be continuing this game next week if you guys wanna watch more. If you wanna watch more of my stuff, we'll be back tomorrow with Silent Hill. I think we're playing Silent Hill tomorrow, right? Yeah, we're doing Silent Hill F tomorrow. Lots of spoopy games, lots of spoopy vibes around here. So that's it, everyone. I really appreciate you stopping by. We're gonna be here over on Twitch until I raid someone. Bye bye, YouTube. Okay, YouTube.